Hello guys, this is Ray Chen. So today I want to share with you guys the famous quotes of Warren Buffett. And for each of the quotes, I'm going to try to go into detail on how it relates to you. Okay? So the number one famous quote, actually before I start, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and click on the bell icon and leave any comment if you have any. Okay? So the number one rule number one of Warren Buffett: never lose money. Rule number two: do not forget rule number one. Okay, it's very important. Never lose money. You see it time and time again, right? People that has the gambler mentality. Some people, for example, they invest in a stock. They put all their money in there without knowing anything about the company. 50 grand, 100 grand, $1 million, poof, it's all gone, right? So you have to never lose money. In order to not lose money, you have to know what you're doing. That's number one. Number two, you have to understand the risk. That is the most important thing. That's the most important thing to remember in investing, right? For example, right now, I'm purchasing mobile home parks, and I'm doing so. I negotiate on the price. I send a deposit. Then I work on my due diligence, right? I call the city. I see if there's any problem with the property. I check out the utilities, the sewer system. I get a quote for the road. I make sure there's nothing wrong. I take a look at all the documents. I make sure 100%, 100% that there's nothing wrong with the property. I also get the environmental report, because let's say if you don't do the environmental report, you buy the park, and after you buy the park, you found out the park is contaminated. You know how expensive it is to clean that up, right? It's usually in the millions of dollars. That's why even if the environmental report is going to cost you $1 grand, $2 grand, $3 grand, you still got to pay for it, right? Because you want to make sure that it's not contaminated. So this is, I'm just sharing with you my own experience about never lose money. So, it doesn't matter if you're buying stock, if you're buying real estate, if you're buying company, you have to figure out the risk. You have to know what's the downside, right? That's rule number one. Never lose money. Rule number two: do not forget rule number one. Okay, it's very important. Okay, the next famous Warren Buffett quote: be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. Okay, that's very important. A lot of people make this stupid mistake. Most people act like a sheep, right? When the sheep go where all the sheep go, right? You cannot, if you want to be rich, if you want to be freaking filthy rich, if you want to make a lot of money, do not be a freaking sheep, okay? So you want to make sure that, because usually when everybody's going into something, it means sooner or later the market is gonna turn, right? So, but do not make the mistake of once you heard somebody saying something, then you get back out. That's not right. Okay, like this couple days I was listening to Thomas Kaplan. He's a famous guy that invests in metals, right? Silver, gold. So he said initially he used to make the mistake when people on the TV talk about something like buying, for example, gold, then he think it's time to get out. No, it's not only when the few people talk about it or buying it you want to get out. You want to get out of it when everybody's talking about it, right? For example, right now in California, I'm a real estate broker in California, right? In California, everybody's buying homes now. Everybody. The price is going crazy through the roof because the interest rate is so freaking low, right? I mean, it's okay if you're buying a home for yourself to live in because you need a place to live anyway, right? And the interest rate is very low. You can save a lot of money there. But now is not a good time. It's not a good time to buy residential real estate in California for investment because the price is already going up. Everybody's buying it. That's what I mean. So when everybody's buying real estate, you should not buy it, especially if you're an investor. If you are buying a home for yourself to live in, that's okay. Okay, so do not buy real estate, residential real estate now in California, okay, or any other state in America. So when should you buy? If you're as an investor, you should buy when everybody is scared of buying. For example, in 2008, when the whole real estate market crashed. For example, when the home was used to be $500,000 and they dropped to $300,000, $200,000, $100,000. That is the time when you buy, when everybody is scared, right? That's what he means. Be fearful when others are greedy, right? Because now everybody's greedy in California. Everybody wants to buy the home to live in. But if you're an investor, do not do it, right? If you're a homeowner, you want to buy for yourself to live in, that's okay. So be greedy when others are fearful, right? Let's say if the same situation ever come back again, like it was what happened in 2008, then when nobody wants to buy a home, then that's the time for you to buy the home, because that's when you pick up the cheapest home, right? Okay, another quote. The important thing is to know what you know and to know what you do not know. Okay. For example, we have all these stupid people investing stock without knowing anything about the company. If you do not know anything about the company, how are you gonna put your money, all your money in there to invest in it? Right? That's just plain stupid, right? Do not do it. If you do not understand the company, do not invest in it. Like Warren Buffett says, right? He look at the company he invests. He invests in Coca-Cola, some bank stocks, some whatever stock. So the company he invests in, they are all simple business model that he understands himself, right? He's rich, he's freaking loaded, but he never. Do you ever see him invest in any high-tech stock? No, because he does not understand it. So do not invest in something that you do not understand. Okay, that's what I mean by that. I mean, not what I mean. I mean, I'm trying to just explain, what Warren Buffett is saying. So another related quote is that only invest in simple business you understand. Okay, you have so many comment out there nowadays. Especially because of the internet age. You have people out there peddling all kind of crazy ideas, crazy business model that nobody understands. If you do not understand something, do not buy it. It's as simple as that, right? So only put your money in it or invest your money in it if you understand it. If you do not understand it, do not invest. Period. The next one, just buy something for less than it's worth, right? So this quote, this is a great quote. Okay, for example, let's say if the nowadays it's a little bit hard because inflation, everything is gone through the roof. For example, you buy a single family home in California, just a mid-price range home in California is gonna be at least 600 grand, 700 grand. But that same home in Dakota or in some other mid-state is probably only 100,000, only maybe 50,000. So, but if you got a place to live, that you have no choice. But so what I mean by that is, let's say if a home is cost $200,000 to build, if you can buy it for $100,000 and replace, let's not talk about a home. Let's talk about a shopping center. Okay, for example, this shopping center, the cost to build it is $500,000 or $1 million. Okay, let's say this shopping center costs $1 million replacement cost to build. Okay, if you can buy it for $500,000, then it may be a good deal. But still, you gotta make sure that you can get the income you want, the rental income, to just justify the cost, the worth, right? So just buy something for less than it's worth, right? That's the example. The shopping center costs $1 million to build. You are able to buy it for $500,000. Then that may be a good deal. But of course, at the same time, you gotta make sure it has the income, right, to support the worth. The next quote: the difference between successful people and the really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Okay, it's very important. So as I grow older, I find this very relevant to my personal situation too. So when I was younger, I used to go out there to meet everybody. Somebody want to meet me, I go meet with them. So this person want to meet with me, I go meet with them. I drive out there, spend all my time. Now I don't do that anymore, right? I only meet with people, I only go out to see people when it's relevant, when the activity aligns with my goal, right? So for example, so that's what I mean, okay? So the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. So right now I'm buying mobile home parks. So I'm looking at different parks. I'm not gonna buy every park, so I'm gonna say no to most of the parks, right? So I'm only gonna say yes to the park that's a really good deal, right? That is something that's less than is worse, right? Okay, the next quote. It's better to hang out with people better than you. It's very important. Let me tell you why. Okay, you probably know this too. So people say, if you want to know how much you make, you just calculate the average income or net worth of the 6 people that you communicate with the most, right? For example, let's say if you have 6 friends, let's say if one friend make 100,000, another friend make 200,000, another friend make 300,000. So the average net worth or income would be your income. Okay, let's say if you hang out with 6 friends, one friend net worth is 1 million, another friend's net worth is 10 million, another friend's net worth is 50 million, then your income is going to be the average of that 6 people too. So that's the reason, that's one of the reasons. Another reason is, when you hang out with people that's smarter than you, that's more capable than you, then you're going to become better, right? But if you're going to hang out with people that's that's worse than you, then you're not gonna get better, right? The next risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So this is going back to the previous couple quotes we talked about, right? You have to know what you're doing. It's okay to have risk. Actually, you want to have risk because risk is where the opportunity is, right? The Chinese word for risk is actually risk and opportunity. Okay, the opportunity is in the risk. So you want to find opportunity that has risk, but the difference is you have to know that risk. You have to be able to 100% assess that risk. Okay, you have to understand the risk. That is the difference. Okay. Next quote. You only have to do very few things right in your life, so long as you don't do too many things wrong. It's very simple, right? Let's say if you made $1 million and you worked hard for it, you worked for however many years to make that $1 million, and if you do one stupid thing, you put all that $1 million into the stock and suddenly you lost all of it or half of it, then you got to start all over, right? That's what it means. So control the risk, understand the risk, know the downside. So don't be stupid. That's as simple as that, right? The next quote. You cannot make a good deal with a bad person. So you want to make sure whoever you're doing deal with, they're legit, they're honest people, they're not some con artists. So you want to make sure do business with the right people. Okay, so this is Ray Chen again. Thank you for watching my video. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, okay, and click on the little bell icon, and if you have any comment, leave in the comment section. Okay, until next time.